My name is Sam. Thanks for watching this video. We're going to discuss my first week through Path of Exile Crucible League. If you're not aware, I'm doing a series, the Noob versus Game Path of Exile edition, of me, Samycaps, going through my first playthrough of Path of Exile. I'm going to document my experiences, the ups, the downs, what I've learned, what's coming down the pipe and still have to learn. So it's been a week since Crucible League launched, and this video is going to go over what I've experienced so far. So as of the date of me recording this video, the Crucible League has been live for exactly 7 days. I've been grinding my Fire Trap Elementalist the whole week. We are currently level 71. Hey, congratulations. So I'm thoroughly enjoying the playstyle. I've had a great time throughout the leveling process. We've had some ups and downs, and I'm going to be going into 10 topics that I personally am going to concentrate on throughout the remainder of the leveling process. And I've come up with these 10 topics based on, number one, the past week of playing PoE, and a little bit of research I did prior to embarking on this journey. All right, let's review the 10 topics I will be focusing on throughout my leveling grind in the Crucible League. Choosing a character, to me, was a very important step in increasing the odds of success in my first journey through PoE. I personally would suggest any person contemplating playing PoE for the first time do a little bit of research like I did. I'm so happy that I took the time prior to the Crucible League launching and doing a little bit of research on the 7 classes that are available to play in PoE and what their game styles are like, because I wanted to increase the odds of selecting one that suited my play style. So I personally would suggest, if you're contemplating playing PoE for the first time, do a little bit of research. There's a lot of content out there from a lot of great people that have been playing this game for almost 10 years. So finding the information is not a problem. So as far as selecting the proper character to play, I'm happy that I did a little bit of research, and I strongly suggest you do the same. Building a strong character has a very steep learning curve in PoE. This is what I'm experiencing after playing 7 days for the first time in PoE. Couple of main takeaways so far in the 7 days of experience that I have. Number one, obviously the skill tree is very important on whether or not your character is strong. Now, I have the benefit of following a build guide, which I pre-selected prior to launching Crucible League. So I don't have to contemplate what skills to pick, or sorry, what passive skills to pick in the skill tree. But it is important. It's a very, as you can see here on the screen, it's a very large skill tree, which, by the way, all the classes share the same skill tree. So our selections of our passive points here are very critical to whether or not our character is strong. Another factor is gems and gem linking. Each weapon or armor will have gem slots 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 as you further progress into the game. And understanding how to utilize the gems and use them in your armor and weapons also influences your character's strength, amongst other things. Now, please keep in mind, this is a very in-depth topic, but I'm going to keep it very entry level. Obviously, I've only played the game 7 days, so I can't speak to the higher level skilled players and their breadth of knowledge with this topic. So again, the point of this series is to explain and share with you my growth through the game. So what have I learned in 7 days? I learned that understanding the skills and which works with your build and what doesn't work with your build, number one. Number two, I learned that picking the right gems is twofold. Number one, understanding which gems are actual spells, in my case as an elementalist, a witch, and what are support class, for a lack of a better term, gems. And properly linking them. In the beginning, the first day or so, I was putting spells into gem sockets and putting either the wrong gem support with it or putting it in a slot where it didn't link with the spell. And so a couple of things is, obviously this 6-link chest piece, all of them are linked. So I have Fire Trap in my case, which is the main spell. And then all supportive gems, which support and work with Fire Trap to make me stronger. So a very quick way that I learned, outside of also having the guide, but when you hover over a support gem, it'll have, in the center here, you'll see Iron Will Support. It tells you what that gem is, but also to the left of that is all the skills, the main casting spells that it supports. And you can see Determination, it does not. So if you were to link Iron Will Support to Determination, it's a useless insert of this gem because it does not support Determination. It does support Fire Trap and will assist Fire Trap in becoming more powerful. So this I learned very quickly in the game. So understanding your skill tree, understanding gems, gem slots, and gems linking was something that I learned and is a little bit of growth that I've experienced in the 7 days so far that I've played it. And I would also suggest, in order to test all this stuff out, when you press C, your character window comes up and you have these 4 tabs, which shows you all your stats on your offense, defense, and all that. Now, there's other important things that I've learned so far in the first week talking about this character screen and what those numbers mean, but that's for another video. So, building a strong character, the 2 things that I learned very quickly, because Witch is a squishy class to play. You deal a lot of damage, but you also die quick, and I died quick a lot of times. So understanding the passive tree, gems, gem linking are vital in your growth and becoming a powerful character in PoE. Managing inventory and stash. PoE has an inventory stash system where you can store your drops and items. PoE has an array of items, and managing inventory is probably the first thing that hits you in the face when you first start playing this game. As a self-proclaimed hoarder and being new to PoE, that was a brutal combination for me. because of my lack of knowledge and not knowing what drops were good and what drops were bad, you tend to, or at least I do, keep everything. And when you start out in PoE, I believe you start out with just 4 tabs. And the 4 tabs fill up quickly. There's a vast array of drops when you're progressing and leveling through PoE. And if you're bringing everything back with you, the stash will fill up quickly. Now, I was fortunate enough that someone in my community donated money to me in order to buy additional stash tabs. So I quickly learned through my hoarding that 4 stash tabs wasn't going to be enough. And this game does a brilliant job in allowing you to purchase additional stash tabs through the shop. And actually, they're having a sale right now. And we're not going to dive into exactly what different types of stash tabs there are. But again, if you want to understand it, it's just a matter of clicking, and they actually have preview videos. They do a description. The bottom line is, if you are planning on playing this game for any length of time, specifically, or more importantly, a long period of time, adding to your stash tabs is going to be crucial in providing some sanity for hoarders like me. The other fix is a loot filter. PoE has the capability of installing a loot filter in your game. So when you're progressing and leveling, the loot filter will help you navigate through what to pick up and what not to pick up. Now, I'm following a build guide, and the gentleman that created this build also created a loot filter. And it's very simple. You just hit escape, options, you go into game right here. It's the second item down, and you can click to open your filter file folder. You can actually, if you go to pathofexiles.com and you see there's a filter there that's for your build, it's just a matter of following that person, copying it, and when you do that on the PoE website, when you log into your game, it'll be available to you to select in the drop-down menu of the item filter. So another way to tackle managing inventory and stash is incorporating a item filter, a loot filter in your game. This way, it helps you navigate and decide what to pick up and what not to pick up. Navigating the world in Path of Exiles is very crucial for several reasons. Number one, you want to be efficient during the leveling process. And number two, it's crucial in order to complete your quests. Navigating the world in Path of Exiles is probably the closest you're going to get to the game holding your hand to an extent. Other than that, PoE does not hold your hand in any way or fashion in learning the game. However, when it comes to navigating the world, PoE does offer some UI benefits that, to be honest with you, is pretty standard in games of this genre. So we're going to go over them very quickly because this is really, it's not rocket science, but basically, when you're playing PoE, you have obviously a mini map, and you have a world map, which is here on the left, and it represents all the areas that you may or may not have to go through. Probably, if it's there, you're gonna obviously have to go to it. So understanding how to read this map is crucial. So quests are right here on the right side, and in the beginning, I was just, I noticed that the quests were up in the right corner and I was roaming around aimlessly. But there's some hand holding when it comes to quests. Number one, there's always a description. Number two, the world map will show you where your player is. But one thing I didn't learn until probably day 2 was you could actually click on the quest here with where the exclamation mark is. By clicking it, it actually provides you with the route. That's a quick way of effectively getting your quests done. So always click on the exclamation mark. It shows you the route, but also give yourself the extra 5 seconds and read what it's saying, because it will help you navigate when you're going through the world maps. Another thing outside of the quest is just general UI. And again, this isn't rocket science. This is very standard in games. And that's the map, which just hitting tab will take it from the mini map, which is traditionally up in a corner, and take it to the center of your screen, which again, a lot of players, I do this myself. I actually keep my map always in the center of the screen. Again, it's for efficiency purposes of, number one, trying to find the area you're going to, or if you're in the campaign process, you're obviously trying to get through the campaign as quickly as possible. So hitting tab takes it from the mini map to the center of the screen, and then the map on the center of the screen can also be customized just by hitting options, UI, and there's 3 that will automatically there are 3 options that affect the visual impact of the map in the center of your screen. And there's transparency, so all the way to the right shows everything, and then over to the left takes away the edges. So again, this is all preference. And then the map transparency as far as the outline. So obviously, I don't know what the point of that would be, but if you want to faintly see it on your screen, you don't want it cluttering while you're grinding and leveling, then you could leave a more transparent map, or you can go to a harsher line, which is predominant on the screen and you're not missing anything. And then map zoom, the size of it on your screen can also be customized to your liking. And then you just want to hit save, and it's there. And again, tab to bring it back to the mini map in the top. Movement speeds. Movement skills are very vital in utilizing them to make you run through the game quicker. So don't negate movement skills. For example, I have Leap Slam as a elementalist. That provides very quick way of running through maps. So movement skills, don't underestimate them. They can speed up you running through maps and getting quests done quickly. Managing resources in PoE. These are items that you need to pay attention while you're grinding PoE. And when I mean managing resources, I'm referring to life and mana. And on our screen, the life is on the bottom left and the mana is on the bottom right. And basically in all games, it's red and blue. So when you are grinding PoE, it's critical that you have obviously enough life and the awareness to know that you've been hit hard and you need to absorb a flask in order to regenerate and give yourself some more life. And is the same is critical with mana, because mana allows you to perform your skills. And of course, without mana, you can't do your skills. So if you're in the middle of a boss fight and you're out of mana, you're going to be spamming your skills, but they ain't going to be doing anything. So managing your resources is very critical. There's several ways that you can do this. Obviously, having the most of both types is great, although that's where the balance of creating a strong character comes into play, because if you're dumping your skill, your passive skill points into that, then you're taking it away from something else. So this is hence the balancing act of PoE and creating a strong character. But there are things like auras that can assist in the regeneration. So I'm not going to get into everything. Again, I've only been playing the game a little bit over a week. So there's probably something out there that it may be better than what I'm going to recommend right now. But I would focus on, number one, getting healthy doses of both life and mana to suit the play style of character that you're going to play. And I would also make it a priority to have regeneration tools and skills as part of your build in order to help facilitate you maintaining those resources at a healthy level in order for your character to perform at its optimal level. Managing resistances. This is something that many new players to PoE are going to struggle with if they're playing PoE for the first time. I learned this the hard way by getting one shot multiple times during the campaign. At certain levels of you progressing through the campaign and finishing the acts, the game literally cuts your resistances in half, if I'm not mistaken, if memory serves me correct. And the first time, not realizing it, you go into battle where you typically walk away unscathed, and then all of a sudden you're doing the same thing and you get one shot and you're wondering why. Most likely it's your resistances are not adequate. Now the cap, according to what I learned, is 75% of resistances is kind of where you want to be. And not that it makes you immune, but it definitely helps with you progressing through the game, through the campaign. But definitely end game, you're going to want to do this. And as you can see here on the left of the screen, if you go into your character screen, on the defense side, you'll see there's fire resistance, cold resistance, light resistance, and chaos resistance. And you want to be at 75% for at least fire, cold, and lightning. Ideally also chaos. Although I've heard several times that chaos really, as long as you're in the 40 range, you should be okay. I'm still learning that. So managing resistances is very key as you're progressing through the campaign. So the only thing I want to say to that is make sure you're aware of it. Keep checking up on it. And by all means, when you get to end game, you definitely need to have this at 75% or you are going to struggle, as I learned. So many ways you can do that is you can equip gear that has prefixes and suffixes that add to your resistances. So for example, my mask here, the Eye of Malice, has 20% fire resistance, 25% the cold resistance. So equipping gear is one way. Another way is through the passive tree. Those are the two that come quickly to top of mind. But the bottom line is managing resistances is very vital, not only during the campaign, but the end game. So please, I learned it the hard way. This is something that you need to keep top of mind as you're grinding through the game. And it's a must prior to the end game. All right, I know I said I was going to go over the 10 things that I thought were a priority and what I learned through the first week of playing PoE. This video is become way longer than I wanted it to, so I'm going to stop it right here. There's a lot more information that I want to share, but this video is already a lot longer, so we're going to cut it here. I hope you found the video informative. And again, I know there is information out there already that is above the level of what was shared on this video, but the purpose of my noob versus PoE video series is to share my experience and growth through the game. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I got a lot more to talk about, a lot more to share. I'm super excited for the up and coming weeks and putting some more time into this game. And we are going to be grinding the end game soon, so I'm very excited to share that and my experiences. So please, if you like the video, please like and subscribe, and hey, share it. Would love for all of you to check it out. And if you want to see me live in action, please visit me on my Twitch channel. I stream every evening. Be happy to see you there. And please make sure that you saw the video. I'm sorry, please make sure you mention that you saw the video and you came to check me out. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you next time.